I think Buffalo played really well. I mean, we caught a tough performance from Mitchell Watt. He made some tough shots. We didn't do a great job with getting him to his right hand very well, but I thought he played well. I thought they had a good game plan. They kind of packed it back in, didn't get extended because we had beaten them on ball screens before. I thought they did a good job with that. I thought we battled back. We had a slow start to the second half, which I didn't think was great for us. But, and then I thought there were 4 plays that kind of we just didn't make when it mattered, that kind of went against us, that could have turned the game around when it mattered. I thought when Alex made the 3 ball, we had a great chance, and then we probably were a little undisciplined on that trap on the sideline. That was a bad play. I thought, I'm going to watch the tape, but the charge call, could have been a block if he's in the circle. I don't know. I didn't see it, so I'm not blaming anybody. And then the third one is we had a good trap on the sideline, and they kind of sputtered it out of there. And if we could have come up with that one, we could have come back into it. And then McClanahan took a bad shot. But other than that, it was a good basketball game. We kept battling back. They played well. And, I told our guys this. I said, if we win it outright or we don't win it outright, it really doesn't matter. I mean, and this may sound like rationalization, but I want to win every game anyway. As you guys all know, I play to win every night out. I don't care if we're playing Hiram or Our Lady of the Elms or West Virginia. Like, I try to win every damn game. But the bottom line is, if we go to Kent and win, that's great. And if we go to Kent to lose, we still got to win the tournament. So, the only thing that it gets you is the NIT automatic bid, which the NIT is a great tournament. It's a great tournament, but most fans don't realize it's a great tournament. It's not like, with football where 70 out of the 119 teams go to a bowl game, right? In the NIT, you got 32 teams and then 68 teams. That's 100 out of 341, and the NIT teams are good now. They're good teams. So I'm not poo-pooing the NIT, but once you've been to the NCAA tournament, like, that's what you really want. So, my point in all that is we could be disappointed, but we got to rally ourselves and make sure we're ready for that conference tournament. Did we play great? I didn't think we were great, but I thought we tried hard and we tried to share the ball. And as a coach, that's really all you can ask. Like, you're not going to play great every night. You just have to try to play together and play as hard as you can. And I thought we gutted up. I thought Brian Walsh particularly. I thought Alex Abreu. I thought Demetrius Treadwell. I thought they gutted up. I think Zeke's a little tired. I think that was one of the keys to the game. We didn't get any rim protection from Zeke, and I blame it all on mental fatigue, because normally he's blocking 2, 3, 4, or 5 of those shots, and we got no rim protection, which I think changed the game. I think they did a good job of getting into his body, which also didn't allow him to get off his feet to block, and I think that was key to the game, not really getting any blocks at the rim. I think that changes everybody's mindset when the ball's coming back at them.
Is that the reason you started Demetrius in the second half?
No, I started him in the second half because we used to do that a lot last year with Mike Bardo. I like to try to protect Zeke foul trouble-wise, and Buffalo has a tendency to go right at him to start the second half. Like, if you watch the tapes, they come right at him. And so I wanted to try to protect him, to try to have him for the last 16 minutes of the game. Even though he wasn't really in foul trouble, he has a tendency to pick up some quick ones, and I just went with my gut, and maybe it wasn't a very great decision, but I've done it many, many times before, so I just stuck with what I believe.
Keith, how frustrating was it defensively? You get close. Alex, you talked about with the 3 ball. They made almost every big shot down the stretch. Was it just frustrating, or is that just the game of basketball?
Listen, I can't get frustrated. My job is to make sure that I keep my composure so my team gets composed, right? And again, like, my whole thing is I get upset with guys when I don't think mentally they're in the game, or I don't think, they share the ball or they're not trying hard. So I really don't have any complaints. We were ready to play. We had a short turnaround. Our guys did a good job of covering their actions on a short turnaround because they're a difficult system to play. We didn't get beat on their system. We got beat on some good individual plays by Watt, and those are strong guys. They're good big people. I mean, Watt's had an unbelievable year. Everybody talks about McCray, but Watt's been better than McCray this year in my mind. I don't see every game, but he's good. playing with unbelievable confidence.
Is there anything you can do when a guy is playing the game the way he played tonight?
Yeah, we need to do it. We need to handle our scout a little bit better. Like, it's obvious that he's going to the left shoulder or the right shoulder to his left hand consistently. I mean, we played him 100 times in 4 years. So, like, we kind of know what he does. So you got to get him off his right shoulder, you know. And if you don't get him off his right shoulder, he's going to make you pay the price. And we didn't get him off his right shoulder enough. And you know, that hurt us. And then, you know, we didn't come up with some big rebounds. Like, he manhandled Nick on a rebound, well, with about 1:20 left, and that hurt us, right? Like, we need to come up with that rebound. I mean, I don't know how you do it, but you got to come up with it. And that's why we need to play Treadwell. Like, Treadwell's not a finished product by any means, but he is a warrior on the glass. And, you know, he makes a lot of young mistakes, but, you know, we need to have him in the game. I think, you know, we need to get Harney better defensively so we can get him in the game too. But he made mistakes defensively which hurt us that he has to understand and he has to get better at. And I think, you know, that's something we got to hold him accountable.
What's this mental fatigue thing this week?
I don't know. I mean, you know, guys go through it. You know, I call it playing with a clear head. You know, Zeke has trouble when things don't go well for him, right? And you can see it on his face, right? When he gets frustrated, then, you know, he has trouble. And, you know, I thought he just got driven on. He just wasn't there, you know, like he wasn't there to really protect us in there. And I'm not mad. I mean, I've seen it 100 times. Athletes go through it, right? You just don't have it sometimes, right? And, you know, it wasn't like he wasn't trying. He tried, but he just didn't quite get it done at the rim.
Coach, seating aside, how important is this Kent State game now, just to avoid a 3-game losing streak going into the tourney, get a little momentum back?
Well, you know, like, is it important? Yeah, it's important. You don't want to go into the tournament with a 3-game losing streak, but as my former assistant did last year, right, they lost 4 out of 5 going into the CAA tournament and went to the Final Four. So on a quick response, you can turn it the other way too, right? Like, Buffalo was horrible at South Dakota State, probably because of the travel. Wasn't very good the next night out, right? And pretty soon, boom, they turned it on a dime. They played a good game tonight, right? I thought they played really well. One of the best they've ever played against us in our building. So, you know, my job is to make sure that our guys understand that each game's a mutually exclusive event, right? And that immediately we can win. Because, you know, we've done it before. We got smacked at Ohio U, right, last year by millions, right? Then we go to Kent and play a reasonably good game and got beat, right? And then we win a tournament. So we didn't go in with much momentum last year either. But I think teams that have been there that are good teams, like your Buffaloes, your Akrons, your Ohio U's, right, your Kent States, like, they got legitimate chances to win because they have belief structure. Belief structure is a big thing, right? It's something that we work on a daily basis as a coach, as a player, right? What is your belief structure when you get hit? Do you believe you can win? And I think, you know, everybody gets shaken at times, right? And then the question is, do you believe you can win? So I think, like, Abreu shows tremendous belief structure, right? He makes some dumb plays sometimes, but he believes he's good and he's not afraid to make plays, right? Other guys don't. So that's part of coaching, right, is building up that belief structure. Zach Phil's in his first year at Buffalo wasn't very good. Now he's pretty good. Mitchell Watt was okay, right? Now he gets opportunity. He's pretty damn good. So it's the same thing, right? You got to go in believing that, hey, you can, like, the end result is we lost tonight, but we played reasonably well enough to win. I wouldn't say we played great by any means. I'm going to watch the tape. But we played good enough to win on most nights, right? We just didn't win tonight. And we're playing the 3 best teams in the league. So it just worked out that we won our first 12, right? We won not our first 12, but 12 out of our first 13. And now we got 3 tough teams, and we got to buckle up. And if we lose all 3, then we'll get another chance at them. That's how I view it. I'm not letting anybody rain on my parade. Anything else? You won't hurt my feelings. Go on. was a good win for Buffalo. They played well. I got to give him credit. He's a good coach. But that guy's a good coach, one of the most underrated coaches in the country. I've always said that. They should sign him to a long-term deal with a lot of money.
Cliche question for you real quick, just going back to the tournament. I know just looking ahead, that's something coaches really like to do, but being that you won it last year, is there any added pressure going in knowing that, you maybe have a target on your back as the team that took it last year?
I don't really view it like that. I thought that the last 3 games there was a lot of pressure on us. These last 3, because if you really analyze it, right, OU and Kent are hard places to win, right? And then Buffalo at home is a tough one because of the circumstances, right? They're tough guys, man. You're not playing against like some soft group that you could just bully, right? So I knew the last 3 were going to be tough, but I thought it put pressure on our guys from the perspective that, just because you got a lead means that you're automatically going to win this thing, right? Like, we won it. We just haven't won it outright yet. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I view it. I'm not going to get disappointed. Look, we won 20 games for the 7th year in a row, and now we're going to go into that tournament and do the very best we can. That's all. That's how I view the thing. And the very best usually is pretty good for us. We've been a good tournament team. We've been, I think, 16-5 in the time I've been here. Now, we've had some scares along the way, man. Toledo almost bopped us. Miami. We've had some tough games, overtime games. We've been fortunate, but, we've been in a lot of games. So, I have faith in my guys. I believe we'll come roaring back. We're going to have a tough game over Kent. It's not, look, that's going to be a tough game. But no matter what happens, we got to play that tournament. And we only got to win 2 in the tournament. Got to win 1 and then the next one. That's it. Simple as that. I was more depressed about the OU game than I was this game, to me, because we weren't worth a damn against OU. But at least in this game, we showed competitiveness. That's a good team, a surprisingly good team. Really good in a lot of ways. They're like those young guards have gotten a lot better. The Oldhams, the Tony Watsons, those guys are much better. Typical Buffalo fashion, those guys get better. Good coach. Guys get better when there's a good coach.